All right, the average cost for a gallon of gas is now $3.75. That's more than $1 than it cost you a year ago. Apparently, that's not good enough for our good friends at GM. Your tax dollars went to bail out. Nope. According to their CEO, Dan Akerson, they are now pushing for higher gas prices. The government is thinking about approving up to a 6% increase in annual fuel efficiency levels, which means the cost of cars will go up by $3,500. But Akerson has a better idea. He said, quote, "You know what I'd rather have them do, and this will make my Republican friends puke. As gas has got to go down here now, we ought to just slap a 50-cent or dollar tax on a gallon of gas." I'm sorry, Dan, the recipient of all of those tax dollars? Only your Republican friends, they're the only ones that buy gas? Because I've seen your crappy new electric car. Nobody's buying it. I think some of your crappy Democratic friends are buying that crappy car too. A 50-cent gas tax would make everyone puke. $1 might make me puke my heart and lungs. There is a bipartisan pukage going on here with GM. And that's what happens when gas goes up. So now everything that if it's being shipped to you, your food, everything, clothes, everything goes up. So the good news is the poor and the middle class won't have any food in their tummies when they start vomiting over the gas prices, if they're Republicans. All right, by the way, the newest GM CEO is Dan Akerson. He used to work for the Carlyle Group. That's a global private equity firm that manages $106 billion. Yeah, some of the players in the Carlyle Group, they're great. George Soros, we would have seen that one coming. Keep in mind, this is the same General Motors that got $51 billion in government money. Then last year, the administration applauded the car company when it repaid the $7 billion in taxpayer money. GM patted itself on the back saying, "Oh, we paid everybody back 5 years ahead of schedule." No, not really. Since then, the government has sold a bunch of its stock in GM. The car company has paid back more of its loan through TARP money and money that's coming from the company share in stock. And we're losing, I think it's $18 billion on this deal. Even Vice President Biden's economic advisor was confused about whether or not the company used TARP money to pay back its loans. "It's really hard to know," he said, "because the funds are mixed together. It's like trying to put an omelet back together." Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Jamie Dimon, he is the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, asked Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke if U.S. regulators are actually preventing our economy from recovering. Watch this.
Now we're told there are going to be even higher capital requirements, so-called SIFI charges and G-SIFI charges, et cetera. And we know there are 300 rules coming. Has anyone bothered to study the cumulative effect of all these things? And do you have a fear, like I do, that when we look back and look at them all, that they will be a reason that it took so long that our banks, our credit, our businesses, and most importantly, job creation start going again? Is this holding us back at this point? Okay,
let me go to Herman Cain, nominee for President of the United States. You were a Fed chair,
yes,
in Kansas City, so you know all this stuff. You also were a businessman. You ran Godfather's, right?
Yes.
Godfather's Pizza?
Yes.
Very successful in both of those positions. Is this unintentional? Is this, are the things being done by Bernanke and the administration, and now through GM, is this just a bunch of really moronic people, the dumbest group of people ever seen, or do they know what they're doing?
Neil, I apologize. Glenn.
That's all right.
For about the first 12 months of the Obama administration, I hesitated in believing that they could make this many bad decisions collectively. So you can only conclude that there's a certain amount of intent to do some of these things.
This is because this is a charge that I have wrestled with. I think every American has.
Yes.
You don't want to believe that there are people that would intentionally do stuff.
Exactly. But look at this. Look, go back to the guy who wants to slap a gas tax on.
Okay.
If you do that with gasoline being at $3.75 a gallon, $4 is the tipping point.
Mm-hmm.
Analyses have shown, studies have shown that once you go past $4 a gallon, it goes past the tipping point, which means that the average family has no choice other than to take it out of another pocket to buy gas to go back and forth to work and take the kids back and forth to school. Now, suppose we go past that tipping point, which we could if King Abdullah and the boys decide that they want to reduce, the supply of oil.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmadinejad, he is the one who's trying to get them to reduce it so the price can go up because he doesn't care about the economy in this country. So now, add a tax on top of that. What that does is it puts a downward pressure on the economy. And this anemic economy that we have now, 1.8% in the first quarter, would become even worse. They keep making all of these moves saying that we aren't going to have a double-dip recession. But if cumulatively you add another gas tax, and if at the mercy of OPEC and them deciding how much they want to pull out of chain, we could end up in a double-dip recession.
Now, OPEC, Saudi Arabia actually was the only one apparently saying that maybe we should increase oil production. But I don't know if we disagree on this. I don't think it's oil production that we have to worry about. I mean, we have all the oil, but it's all in the ground.
Exactly.
We don't have our own energy, so we are completely screwed if they want to yank our chain.
Exactly.
But it's really not how much oil is out there alone. A lot of this has to do with the dollar being inflated.
Yes.
Okay, hang on.
Yes.
Let's explain that when we come back.